One massive narrative around crypto, especially in 2025, that is still kind of there, but kind of has died down in a bit, is AI, right? Like AI is still one of the biggest things happening in the traditional world. Everyone is looking into AI, adopting AI, tapping into AI based models like even ChatGPT and, all of these other crazy applications. But when it comes to crypto, we know that AI is a big deal. We know that crypto is essentially going to be the guardrails for AI in the real world as well. We've talked about this on multiple occasions. But one thing that I have also really kind of mentioned in the past is that a lot of these AI based crypto projects are absolutely useless. Majority of them they don't solve anything. They just have AI in their name, and that's basically it. We can go through this list and just kind of pick and choose which AI-based projects actually, solve anything, but that's just a waste of time. In fact, one AI-based project that I personally see being one of the biggest projects in this space is TRAC, aka OriginTrail. Because unlike all of these AI agent projects or all of these AI, crypto projects that are kind of just reskin versions of ChatGPT, this is a project that's using AI and solving core problems in the traditional world. And it is a crypto-based project that's, doing this. It's combining two disruptive technologies, blockchain and of course AI, and it's actually being adopted. This is also why I do think that TRAC is extremely undervalued and extremely overlooked. Recently, a lot of people started to talk about TRAC because of the recent spike in price, but we have been talking about TRAC for quite some time on the channel. If you guys don't believe me, you can look up my channel name and just kind of tap into some of my AI videos from the past. But also, if you are a part of the Discord, then you already know about how bullish I am on TRAC. Now, looking at the last year, this is what the current price action looks like. We are trying to attempt to break out, especially on this weekly candle. It looks pretty good here. But the crazy thing is that a lot of people will look at this project and say, oh, well, it's already pumped up a bit because the low back here was like 30 cents and it's already at 48 cents. So I'm just going to avoid this one. But when you zoom out, you could see that this thing is severely undervalued compared to the previous highs. Its all-time high back in 2021 was about $3.87. I think that that's pretty low compared to what, some of these projects are hitting today. And also, when we think about TRAC itself, the use case potential around this project and what it's attempting to do and what it's technically already doing is extremely valuable. So this $241.5 million market cap, fully diluted value of 241.53. It's essentially the same thing. There's just one, the circulating supply compared to the total supply is just a little off here. So again, the fully diluted value is essentially the market cap at 241.5 million. So it is pretty undervalued. I could easily see this thing 10xing, 20xing in an alt season run, which I don't think anyone would argue with me because again, that's still, pretty undervalued. I mean, a 10x from today would be 2.4 billion. We'll just say $5 billion in market cap for TRAC is definitely possible. And that's not that crazy when we're thinking about where $5 billion on this list would take it, which is right around roughly like number 28. So again, that's pretty conservative, especially when the market really starts to rip. Now, looking at the price chart, I have been looking into TRAC for quite some time. We were watching this thing squeeze from the June lows and also the July highs. It was squeezing, waiting for a big breakout. This blue zone was our demand zone in the Discord, and this basically marked the bottom for TRAC, and this thing started to break out. Now, it did hit the first level of resistance, especially on the weekly. We need to break over 52 cents. The second that we do so, we will target this blue zone up here, which is a demand zone, and that's around roughly 74 cents to about 93 cents. And then after that is cleared, if we do clear that, the key levels here would be the highs going back to December of 2024, which is right around $1.18. And then also the March 2024 highs around $1.46. Then after that, we go to the all-time highs, well, essentially the resistance level on the weekly where we did hit the all-time highs from 2021 at about $2.45. Beyond that, we just look at the wick here. which is $3.86. And then after that, we go into price discovery where, TRAC could essentially hit some significant highs. Now, why am I so bullish on TRAC? Why do I think that this is going to be one of the largest projects in crypto, especially in the AI narrative? Well, because if we go over here, OriginTrail did make a post regarding Gartner's Inc.'s 2025 AI hype cycle breakdown, and they mentioned that knowledge graphs are climbing the slope of enlightenment. The decentralized knowledge graph, DKG, is at the forefront of this trend, enhancing AI agents with data integrity, interoperability, and interconnectivity. Again, when we think about AI, especially in the real world, big banks, big companies, they're not going to tap into AI at scale if they can't trust the data around it. Data is crucial for AI to be adopted. That's why we need to be able to verify data. We need to have transparent data, and we need to be able to access that data. And projects like OriginTrail are allowing that to become a reality. And that's also why OriginTrail has been getting adopted in such a significant way. We have here, this is an article to this. If you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to. But if we go to the next slide here, we have American families deserve safe, trusted products. With Scan Trusted Factory powered by OriginTrail, largest U.S. importers can verify goods at the source to ensure product safety. Together with retail leaders, we're helping protect millions of American consumers. The goods you buy, from children's toys to household essentials, should come from verified, secure sources. Scan Trusted Factory, powered by the OriginTrail Decentralized Knowledge Graph, the DKG, ensures over 40% of U.S. imports meet strict audit standards. How to level up international trade with reliable AI? Well, this is a webinar regarding how they're utilizing this to make sure that international trade gets that level up ability with, of course, AI and DKG being tapped in. Now, also looking into this, we have over here from the Scan board chair, this is Ken McElroy. Competitors in a marketplace are able to utilize the technology to provide value-added services to their individual organizations while maintaining the integrity of their own data. With 22,000 plus factories, 1.4 trillion in retail sales, and 175,000 corrective actions tracked, Scan Trusted Factory helps ensure product safety at the source, enabled by verified data sharing powered by the OriginTrail Decentralized Knowledge Graph without compromising privacy. Now, this is a full video on this. I don't think that you guys want me to waste 6 minutes of your time. If you guys want to go check out this video, you guys are more than welcome to. But this was from back in July, this video clip. I'm bringing this back up because if we go over here to DKG on OriginTrail's website, this is all the things running on the DKG. We have internet content, supply chains, transportation, life sciences and healthcare, industry 4.0, sports organizations. We also have construction and decentralized science. Now, a lot of the names tied back to OriginTrail include names like Google, Walmart, Nvidia, BSI, Scan, Oracle, Next Generation Internet with, of course, the EU. We have some of the biggest names tied back to OriginTrail. And you might say, all right, well, yeah, these are just some names using it, but where's the actual value? Well, if you click some of these categories, like for an example, the supply chain side, okay, looking into this, we have supply chains today, lack of transparency. Global supply chains lack clarity on environmental impact, human rights, and standards, hindering sustainability and risk management. Collaboration needed. Transparency demands joint efforts from all stakeholders. Data challenges. Sharing sensitive data complicates collaboration and accountability. And tomorrow, well, share supply chain data with trust, privacy, and connectivity. Build a network of verifiable, interconnected knowledge assets. Achieve sustainable and safer supply chains, all through DKG using SCAN, which is the Supplier Compliance Audit Network. With members like Costco, Walmart, Target, they're aiming to reduce audit fatigue for foreign factories under the U.S. Customs Trade Partnerships Against Terrorism program. With 1.36 trillion in annual sales and over 22,000 sourcing factories, SCAN uses the OriginTrail DKG to secure audits, meet privacy standards, and enable flexible data sharing with agencies like CTPAT. And again, this is all using DKG through OriginTrail. This is just one use case. There's many other ones here that you can look into. That's also where we go over here to July 29th, where OriginTrail did put a spotlight on what Walmart recently did announce, which was when a retailer serving 230 million customers weekly announces that it's replacing search UIs with AI agents, you listen. However, the shift from attention to intention economy must be built on trusted data. And that's where, again, we look into what this company, aka OriginTrail, is doing with AI agents and, of course, DKG. They are solving a lot of these problems. Again, this is a 16-minute long video. I'm not going to play it, but the main thing here that we're looking at is the value that DKG adds. And if we go back over here, DKG is providing all of that data, everything to be tapped in. This is data with trust, privacy, and connectivity. And you could also build a network of all of this with verifiable interconnected knowledge assets. Now, beyond that as well, talking about the DKG, you could explore this. You could look into this. Currently speaking, we could see how many assets are on the DKG, which is over 1.6 billion. And this has skyrocketed since the new year. This has all come from the last 10 months. It's crazy to see this. And we also see the total network fees in TRAC as well. This just hit almost 17 million. We love to see this type of adoption. This is also why when we look into the data around OriginTrail, we are seeing increased adoption. We are seeing increased growth. This is not just hype. This is actual growth happening there. And again, when we think about actual growth, this is also all value. Now, on top of that, we are starting to see even more players added to the list that are tapped in with this. Like, for example, this is from Oxford Pharma Genesis. Trusted by 8 of the world's top 10 pharma leaders and 50 plus global healthcare organizations, they're joining forces with OriginTrail to advance trustworthy AI and pioneer DeFi. Together, we are building collaborative AI-ready clinical knowledge ecosystems to fuel the next generation of genetic science. So again, when we think about these AI agents, this is where we start to see that big push from OriginTrail into another key crucial industry, healthcare. This is, again, more confirmation of just how big OriginTrail will be. We also have a quote down here that this collaboration marks the start of an ambitious journey to build the world's most extensive decentralized repository of trusted clinical trial knowledge on the OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph. Again, more adoption for DKG. This is incredible to see at a time where we're already seeing such increased adoption. And also, by the way, 96 million TRAC is currently staked. If we go back, guys, there's only 500 million, TRAC. So this is a significant amount of TRAC already staked and locked up. And we're starting to see even more TRAC being locked up. Like, for example, this one. So DKG node Luna Lander on Neuro Web AI has reached the 5 million TRAC staking cap. Join TRAC token delegators to secure the decentralized knowledge graph. Again, we're starting to see more and more TRAC being locked up at a time where we're starting to see more and more adoption around the ecosystem. This is why I keep saying that this is one of those projects that is severely undervalued. So when we are looking back on this chart and we're still trading around those levels going all the way back to February of 2023, this thing is extremely undervalued. This thing hasn't even popped yet at all this cycle. So I'm very excited to watch this, chart really wake up in a big way and get into price discovery, because I do believe that TRAC is going to be one of the biggest winners in the space, not just coming from fundamental side, from the fundamental side of things, but also just from the typical hype and speculation side. Because again, there's not a lot of hype here around OriginTrail. There's all substance. I mean, you could see it for yourself. You could look into all of these things and see the adoption happening around this ecosystem. They don't even need to rely on hype or, speculation. They are working with some of the biggest names out there and solving some of the biggest problems as well at a time where the chart is just absolutely flat. So if you want to tap into a project that's solving real world issues using AI and blockchain, OriginTrail is probably one of the best choices in this space. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.